This was once a city that symbolized America's innovation and manufacturing might. But today, Detroit is the third most violent city in the U.S., with unemployment estimated at up to 50%. According to officials, the once glamorous Motor City now has more people living in poverty than cars on the streets.
Home foreclosures, a continued flight to the suburbs, which it takes the tax base away from the city. And there's more and more of that. The decline in the school system is making people leave the city. And so there's no money here really, and then there are no jobs here.
And as the U.S. Census points out, 250,000 people have left Detroit in the past 10 years. The economic scars of this once vibrant city are impossible to escape. Roughly 60,000 vacant buildings and 35,000 abandoned homes line the streets of Detroit, hollow shells of America's former middle class, which have ignited an industry of scrappers. People who strip these properties of copper wire and steel pipes as a means of income. Scrappers swap ruins for profit at yards like this, just 5 miles out of Detroit. Scrapyard owner Albert Wutala says he sees new faces every day.
With a little bit of money they get, they're trying to survive, pay their bills, they just can't make it. Everything's gone to hell. Even more hellish is the sight of a city looting itself. Landmark buildings and foreclosed homes are gutted for survival.
All right, go around, have weight up at the little scale, bring me the slip.
In addition to scrappers, an increasing number of cash-strapped working Americans
8 pounds
are trading goods for greenbacks.
Guy in the Lexus, like I said, with a suit and tie and a little brass lamp. Hey, you know, he's not. It doesn't look like the recycling kind of guy. He was broke, short of money.
The U.S. president promised things would be better for America's car-making capital after the 2009 $50 billion bailout to General Motors and Chrysler.
Our automakers are in the midst of their strongest period of job growth in more than a decade. Since GM and Chrysler emerged from bankruptcy, the industry has created more than 75,000 new jobs. For the first time in 6 years, Ford, GM, and Chrysler are all operating at a profit.
GM has reported 6 straight quarterly profits, and Chrysler's revenue is said to be up by 30%, nearly $14 billion from last year.
What about bailing the people out? You bailed out the corporations, you bailed out the banks. It doesn't mean a whole lot because the people who are in the city still don't get those jobs. Those jobs are still being outsourced.
In this once great industrial beacon of American ideal, where Henry Ford pioneered the famous Model T production, schools, police, and fire stations now stand abandoned as many Americans are reduced to dealing in scrap.
See if you'll take it for me.
Just to make ends meet. Marina Portnaya, RT, Detroit.